Hello, welcome in. You're in once again Dr. AJ's recommended book list. This is part of a 10-week series of books that I encourage people to at least check out and maybe obtain and read.
Previously in this series, we've looked at 3 other books. The first of these was Sun Tzu's The Art of War. That's an infamous classic, and we should all have at least a couple of copies. And then the second and third books, which were presented together in a second YouTube vid, were Atomic Habits by James Clear, and then The 12-Week Year. I'll put the link to those 2 different YouTube vids in the description box below.
So this week's books are actually 2, and they're conjoined. They're written by the same author or authors, depending on how you look at it. The authors are Crystal and Balls, B-O-L-L-E-S. And the 2 books are, first, Where Do I Go From Here With My Life? And secondly, What Color Is My Parachute? Now, if you're short on time and you're doing a transition, a career transition of some sort, I recommend What Color Is My Parachute? It's updated every year, and it's kind of like the Crib Notes version. It's like Get Through This Fast, because you're in a hurry, you need that new job. If you have the time to be more thoughtful and do a more in-depth self-evaluation, I recommend Where Do I Go From Here With My Life, because it's much more structured. Now here's the essential challenge for you. When doing a job transition, especially if you're entering into a new field, and many of you are, if you're in this program, you're looking for a significant jump in your career. The thing is that envisioning that new career, the big challenge is what direction is true north. You wake up every day, and with what time you have for pursuing your next step, you're trying to figure out what's the most important thing.
So the reason that I found this book to be so useful, we're actually talking about the combination of Where Do I Go From Here With My Life, which you can order from Amazon as a used book. It's not in print anymore. Or the more current and updated every year, What Color Is Your Parachute? The reason that I'm offering you either of those as this choice for a week 4 in recommended reading is that when you're at that point of making a career transition and you're trying to find your true north on a daily basis, these give you guidance and grounding and structure, and that is so valuable. Let's segue just a little bit, shall we? I'm recording this in the early morning. It's just after dawn, and I was out earlier. We had a beautiful full moon. It was low over the ocean. This isn't my picture. I couldn't get a good one with my iPhone, but this is a pretty good commercial shot that gives the feeling. And I was out feeding feral cats and just thinking about you folks and what we wanted to do over the coming months. If you caught that last blog post or the email leading up to that last blog post, you possibly caught sight of that little squib at the bottom about Aspasia of Miletus, who was a Greek courtesan called Hetaera at the time. And she was not only the mistress and then later the wife of the great Athenian general Pericles, she hosted a salon. And in her salon, the great thinkers of her time, so we're talking about people like Socrates, came and had discourse and had their thinking refined just a little bit because she was renowned to be a great teacher. And they probably also had some really good food and wine. Along those lines, we're going to be introducing the notion of salon in our little conversations with the idea of thinking about how it is that you personally can flourish with your genius. In order to find out who would be really interested, I'm asking you folks to opt in on the Themesis website. Once you opt in, you'll get emails that will invite you to look at both the blogs and the YouTubes. And please notice, this is referring to what we did last week in our YouTube and our blog post. We're going to have connectivity between the blogs and the YouTubes, so they're going to link to each other.
Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye now.